Listen to me. Life is not about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you refuse to stay down. Fall 7 times, stand up 8. That's not just a saying, that's a lifestyle. That's a mindset. That's the attitude of a champion. Failure is not final. Unless you quit was a reminder that setbacks, mistakes, and disappointments are not the end of your story. Failure itself has no power to define your future unless you decide to stop trying. The only moment failure becomes permanent is when you give up the effort to rise, learn, and move forward. Every great success story in history is filled with countless failures. People stumble, fall, and lose their way, but they keep going. That persistence transforms failure from something painful into something useful. Failure becomes a teacher rather than a trap. They guide you to a better decision, sharper skill, and a stronger mindset. As long as you continue trying, failure simply becomes part of the journey, not the end of it. When you quit, you close the door on all future possibilities. You shut down the opportunity for growth, improvement, and eventual success. Quitting is the only true ending. Everything else, losses, rejections, mistakes, can be overcome. They may slow you down, but they cannot stop you unless you allow them to. This phrase also encourages a shift in perspective. Most people fear failure because they treat it like a final judgment, a sign that they are not good enough. But in reality, failure is evidence that you are pushing your limits, taking risks, and trying something meaningful. It shows that you are in motion. It shows courage. The act of trying is always more valuable than the temporary defeat that may come with it. To live by this principle is to believe that your journey is still unfolding. It teaches you to get up each time you fall, to adjust your strategy, and to continue fighting for your goals. Success is rarely quick and never effortless. It belongs to those who refuse to quit even when the road becomes difficult, confusing, or painful. In the end, this phrase is a promise. As long as you keep moving, your story isn't over. Failure cannot stop a determined person. You hold the power to rewrite your future every time you stand up and try again. The only way to truly lose is to give up on yourself. Resilience is your greatest weapon means that the most powerful tool you have in life is your ability to bounce back from difficulty. Talent, intelligence, resources, and opportunities are valuable, but without resilience, they can crumble under pressure. Resilience is what allows you to keep going despite pain, setbacks, or uncertainty. It is the inner strength that pushes you forward when everything around you is trying to pull you down. Life will always bring challenges, failures, disappointments, heartbreaks, and unexpected obstacles. You cannot control every outcome, but you can control your response. Resilience is the ability to rise after falling, to continue moving when the path becomes rough, and to stay focused when circumstances try to break your spirit. It transforms hardships into lessons and pressure into growth. This phrase also highlights that resilience is a skill you build, not something you are simply born with. Every time you face difficulty and refuse to give up, your resilience grows stronger. Every tough moment you survive becomes proof that you can handle more than you once believed. Over time, resilience becomes your armor, protecting your motivation, your peace, and your long-term goals. When people lack resilience, even small challenges can stop them. They quit early, break easily, and lose trust in their own potential. But with resilience, you develop unstoppable momentum. You become the kind of person who refuses to stay defeated. Instead of avoiding challenges, you confront them. Instead of running from failure, you learn from it. Instead of doubting yourself, you build confidence through perseverance. Resilience doesn't mean you never struggle. It means you keep going even while you struggle. It means you acknowledge the pain, but still choose to move forward. It means you trust the process, even when results are slow. In every journey, whether personal, professional, or emotional, resilience becomes your strongest advantage. It keeps you grounded during chaos and helps you rise above circumstances that would break others. With resilience, you cannot be permanently stopped. You may bend, but you will not break. You may fall, but you will rise again. This is why resilience is described as your greatest weapon. It protects your dreams, fuels your determination, and ensures that no matter how hard life hits, you always find a way to stand back up. Every setback is a setup for comebacks, expresses a powerful truth about how challenges shape growth. A setback is anything that slows you down, failure, rejection, loss, or an unexpected obstacle. In the moment, setbacks often feel negative, discouraging, and frustrating. But the phrase reminds you that these moments are not the end of your story. Instead, they are preparing you for a stronger return. A setback forces you to pause, reflect, and reevaluate your direction. It exposes weaknesses you need to strengthen. It teaches you lessons you may never have learned if everything had gone smoothly. Without setbacks, you might continue repeating the same mistakes or remain unaware of your true potential. The struggle itself becomes a form of training. When something goes wrong, it opens the door for reinvention, a fresh approach, a smarter strategy, or a deeper level of determination. This is the setup. Life is not pushing you backward, it's positioning you for something greater. The setback becomes a launching pad. It equips you with resilience, perspective, and clarity, preparing you to rise higher than before. A comeback is not just returning to where you were. It is returning stronger. It is rising with more confidence, more wisdom, and more strength. Many people who achieve success do so not because everything went perfectly, but because their failures forced them to grow. Their comeback was built on the lessons of their setback. This phrase also changes the way you respond to difficult situations. Instead of seeing a setback as defeat, you begin to see it as opportunity. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start focusing on what is this preparing me for? This mindset shift empowers you to stay motivated even during tough times. When you adopt this belief, setbacks lose their power to stop you. You no longer allow temporary losses to define your future. You become someone who rises repeatedly, someone who refuses to quit, someone who transforms obstacles into stepping stones. In the end, every setback becomes meaningful when you choose to learn from it and fight your way back stronger. The pause is temporary, but the growth is permanent. And the comeback, fueled by patience, persistence, and purpose, becomes one of the most powerful parts of your journey. Champions are made in the moments no one sees means that true greatness is not built on the stage, in the spotlight, or during the celebration. It is built in the quiet, lonely, unseen hours when no one is watching. Success may appear public, but the hard work behind it is deeply private. The phrase highlights the reality that champions earn their strength, discipline, and skill long before anyone applauds them. Great achievements are born from daily habits that look ordinary to the outside world. Early mornings, late nights, repeating the same practice again and again. These small, consistent efforts create mastery. Champions push themselves when there's no audience, no reward, and no recognition. No reward and no recognition. They stay committed even when motivation fades. They choose discipline over comfort, improvement over excuses, and growth over distraction. These invisible sacrifices shape their character and sharpen their abilities. Most people only see the final result, the trophy, the performance, the victory, or the success, but they rarely see the struggle behind it. They don't witness the hours of preparation, the failures, the doubts, or the battles fought in silence. This is why the phrase emphasizes that champions are made, not simply found. Their greatness is crafted through dedication, consistency, and resilience when no one is clapping. This idea applies not only to sports or competition, but to life itself. Whether it's building a career, improving a skill, healing from setbacks, or working toward a dream, the transformation happens behind closed doors. The small decisions you make daily, the discipline you maintain, and the effort you repeat in private determine the success. These unseen moments test your commitment. Without external pressure or validation, you must rely on inner drive. This is where mental strength is built. When you push through tiredness, self-doubt, or boredom, you develop the mindset of a champion. These quiet battles prepare you to shine when the opportunity arrives. In the end, champions earn their victory long before they step into the spotlight. The world only witnesses the outcome, not the journey. The phrase reminds you that if you want success, you must value the hidden work, the discipline, persistence, and sacrifices that shape you into someone capable of greatness. Consistency beats talent every time means that showing up again and again, putting in steady effort, and staying committed will outperform natural ability in the long run. Talent is valuable, but without discipline, it fades. Consistency is what transforms potential into achievement. It turns small daily actions into major long-term results. Talent gives someone a head start, but consistency determines who crosses the finish line. Many talented people never reach their goals because they rely too much on what they were born with and not enough on daily practice. They may work hard occasionally, but not consistently. Meanwhile, someone with average talent who is dedicated, focused, and persistent will continue to improve, grow, and eventually surpass those who rely only on natural ability. Consistency builds habits, and habits shape success. When you show up every day, even when you are tired, even when motivation is low, even when progress feels slow, you create momentum. You develop discipline. You strengthen your skills little by little. Over time, these small steps add up to massive progress. What begins as small effort eventually becomes expertise. This phrase also teaches a powerful truth about real growth. Mastery requires repetition. No one becomes great by doing something once in a while. Greatness is built through years of disciplined action. When you commit to consistent practice, you gain a deeper level of understanding, sharper instinct, and greater confidence. These qualities often matter more than raw talent alone. Another key message in this phrase is that consistency is fully under your control. You may not control how much talent you have, but you can control how often you work, how much effort you give, and how committed you remain. Consistency creates reliability, and reliability builds success. In every field, sports, business, education, health, or personal development, the people who win are the ones who stay dedicated over long periods of time. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't depend on inspiration. They don't stop after small failures. They show up repeatedly, learn continuously, and improve relentlessly. Ultimately, consistency turns ordinary people into experts and dreamers into achievers. Talent may shine at first, but consistency continues shining forever. This phrase is a reminder that your daily discipline, not your natural gifts, determines how far you will go. Pressure creates diamonds. If you choose to grow, highlights a powerful truth about how challenges can shape a person. Just as natural diamonds are formed deep underground through intense heat and pressure, personal growth often comes from difficult, stressful, and demanding moments. Pressure itself isn't the enemy. It's the force that can transform you into something stronger, wiser, and more resilient. However, the phrase includes a crucial condition. If you choose to grow, not everyone who experiences pressure becomes stronger. Some people break, give up, or collapse under stress because they resist growth or let fear control them. Growth requires a conscious decision to face the challenge, learn from it, and push through the discomfort. When life applies pressure through failures, setbacks, responsibilities, or unexpected problems, it is offering an opportunity. These moments test your character, patience, discipline, and emotional strength. They force you to confront your weaknesses, adapt, and improve. When you embrace the challenge instead of avoiding it, you develop the qualities needed for success. Pressure also reveals who you truly are. It exposes your limits, but also shows your hidden potential. The strength you didn't know you had often appears only when you face adversity. This transformation mirrors the creation of a diamond. Something valuable, unbreakable, and brilliant emerges from intense conditions. Choosing to grow under pressure means staying calm, staying focused, and refusing to quit. It means trusting that the struggle has a purpose. It means believing that every difficult moment is shaping you into someone more capable than before. Ultimately, pressure can break you or build you. The outcome depends on your mindset. When you decide to grow, the challenges you face become the very forces that polish you into your strongest, brightest version. Your mindset decides your altitude. It means that the level you reach in life is determined more by your thinking than by your circumstances. Altitude represents how high you rise in success, confidence, achievement, and personal growth. Mindset represents your beliefs, attitude, and perspective. When your mindset is strong, positive, and growth-focused, you rise higher. When it's limited or negative, it holds you down. Your mindset shapes how you see challenge, how you react to failure, and how you pursue opportunities. A person with a strong mindset believes improvement is possible, effort is valuable, and setbacks are temporary. This attitude creates momentum, courage, and determination, the ingredients needed to climb higher. On the other hand, A negative or fixed mindset creates fear, doubt, and hesitation, which act like weights that stop you from rising. This phrase also highlights the power of inner belief. What you think about yourself becomes the foundation of your actions. If you believe you're capable, you will take risks, work hard, and stay disciplined. If you believe you are limited, you will stop yourself before you even start. Your external results follow your internal thoughts. Your mindset influences your altitude because it controls your decisions. A strong mindset pushes you to keep learning, stay consistent, and seek solutions instead of excuses. Over time, these habits create progress that lifts you to higher levels of success. A limited mindset makes you settle for less, avoid challenges, or quit early, keeping your altitude low. In short, your thoughts determine your direction. When you strengthen your mindset, you expand your possibilities. When you elevate your thinking, you elevate your life. Your altitude is not fixed. It rises every time your mindset rises. Pain is temporary, but quitting makes it permanent, means that the discomfort, struggle, and hardship you feel during difficult moments will eventually fade. But the consequences of giving up will stay with you forever. Pain comes and goes. It may last for minutes, hours, days, or even months, but it always changes. It lessens with time, healing, and persevering. Quitting, however, creates a lasting mark because it ends your progress and closes the door to what could have been. Temporary pain is a natural part of growth. Whether it's physical training, building a skill, facing a setback, or overcoming a challenge, discomfort is part of the process. It tests your strength, your discipline, and your patience. But if you push through, the pain eventually transforms into progress. You gain experience, confidence, and resilience. Quitting stops that transformation. It freezes you at the point of struggle, leaving you with regret and unfinished dreams. The uncomfortable moment passes, but the feeling of, I could have done more stays. This is why quitting makes the pain permanent, because you never get to experience the reward on the other side. This phrase is a reminder to look beyond the present discomfort. It encourages you to focus on the long-term benefits rather than the short-term struggle. Success requires endurance. Success requires endurance. Growth requires sacrifice. Progress requires pushing through moments that feel difficult or overwhelming. When you keep going despite the pain, you discover your strength, you build character, you develop discipline, and earn the results that quitting would have taken away. In the end, pain is part of the journey, but quitting ends the journey. If you endure the temporary struggle, you gain lasting achievement. If you quit, the loss becomes permanent. Don't let one fall define your entire journey. Is a reminder that a single mistake, failure, or setback does not determine who you are or what you can achieve. Falling is part of every path in life. It is natural, unavoidable, and often necessary for growth. But many people allow one bad moment to shape their identity or limit their future. This phrase encourages you to rise above that mindset. A fall could be a failed attempt, a wrong decision, a lost opportunity, or a moment of weakness. In the moment, it may feel heavy and discouraging. But one fall does not erase your potential or cancel your entire journey. Your story is much bigger than one chapter. Your destiny is far greater than one mistake. Growth comes from learning, adjusting, and continuing forward. When you fall, you gain insight about what went wrong and what you need to improve. That knowledge strengthens your future. But if you let the fall define you, you freeze in place. You limit your own possibilities and allow fear or shame to control your direction. The phrase also reinforces the idea of self-forgiveness. You must give yourself permission to continue, even after failure. You must remind yourself that progress is not destroyed by one mistake. It is destroyed by refusing to get back up. Every successful person has fallen many times, but they did not allow those moments to become their identity. They used each fall as fuel to keep moving. They understood that the journey is long and full of ups and downs, but the outcome is shaped by persistence, not perfection. In the end, your fall is just a moment, not your definition. What truly defines you is your willingness to rise, to keep going, and to write the rest of your journey with strength and determination. Get up, lock in, and fight back, because the struggle is the pathway and the comeback. That's where champions are born. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Success Mindset.